why. Who's next? That's what I want to talk about more than anything. Who is next up to be phased out of the rotation? That's what I want to talk about. And I wonder, right? I know we've had in the past where we've had different teams. With the different teams that we've had not just different players, but not just different players, but also different coaches, right? Different coaches. So, with that being said, when you have a bomb squad, right? When you have a team with a collection of talent that Team USA had, like when you have a crew like that, what happens is somebody's going to have to take a back seat. That's just the way it is, right? Somebody's going to have to take a back seat because you are in different confines. You are in different confines from what you're used to. You're used to playing for the Boston Celtics and the way you guys do things. You're used to playing for the Atlanta Hawks and the way you guys do things. You're used to that sort of thing. But now you get on this crew where there is no lack of talent, none whatsoever. And not only is there not a lack of talent, there isn't a lack of ego. So those egos have to be stroked and they have to be managed. That's what we have to do. So how do you stroke that ego? By telling Jason Tatum that we're going in a different direction tonight, but then starting him the next night. How do you stroke that ego? You let Joel Embiid know that we're going in a different direction tonight, but more than likely, when we play Puerto Rico, you're going to play more. And letting Joel Embiid, who is a former league MVP, letting him know, right? Letting Joel Embiid know that, yo, you are an integral part of our unit. You're a huge part of our unit. Everything that we're trying to do around here involves you. And because of that, you will play more the next night. That's stroking the ego. That's managing these guys. Now, there's some guys on the crew. There's some guys on this particular crew. There are some guys who are necessary, right? There are some guys on this crew that are necessary, where we could probably do without Jason Tatum. We could probably do without Bam if you got because you got Joel Embiid. We could probably do without Jason Tatum because you got James. You could probably do without KD because you got Jason Tatum. You could probably do without Devin Booker because you got Anthony Edwards. So there are some people on this team that, you know, if you didn't have them, that wouldn't be that big of a deal. But then there's also guys on the crew that it would be hard. It would be really hard to replace them, especially at this point. And I feel like guys like Derek White, the one guy that I feel like is necessary, right? I feel like the one guy that's necessary is Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is the guy that, when you look around the league, if you asked all 30 general managers, right? If you asked all 30 general managers, I'm willing to bet 28 of them would say, if Drew Holiday's on my crew, he need to be on the floor. He is necessary. There's not a there's not a lot of guys. There's not a lot of guys that you can say that are ballers that are necessary. Because when you have guys who have a specific skill set, it kind of filters out throughout the rest of the league. And the reason why I say that is because, like, when you got guys who can score, like, we can find bucket getters. I think the league is littered with guys who can get you a bucket. That's not that big of a deal. We can if we had to swap out bucket getters. Now, don't get me wrong; those bucket getters might not be as good, right? Those bucket getters might not be as good, but we could find another bucket getter. It's hard to find Drew Holiday in the league. It's hard to find Derek White in the league. It's hard to find Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley in the league. It's not a bunch of guys like that running around. It's not, which would explain why those guys are so indispensable. Because what they do is necessary. Watching Drew Holiday, right? Watching Drew Holiday and watching how he disrupts, right? Watching him disrupt South Sudan's offense, watching him disrupt Serbia's offense. It's not a lot of guys that do that sort of thing, right? It's not a lot of guys who can do that. And because there's not a lot of guys who can do that, that makes a guy like Drew Holiday. Plus, he can score the basketball. So when you got a guy who's elite on the defensive basketball, who can also score, like Anthony Davis, barring health issues, like Anthony Davis, like Bam, who to be honest with you, I feel like Bam is becoming that. Right? I feel like Bam is turning into that. Of the guys that are becoming, I feel like Bam is becoming elite on the defensive side, on the offensive side of the ball. That's why I'm on record. I said it earlier today. I think Bam is an all-pro this year. In the 24-25 season, I think Bam makes the all-pro team. And I understood why he didn't make it in the past off the strength of the bigs that we have running around in Sabonis and Anthony Davis and, Rudy Gobert, considering. But I feel like this season, I feel like we're going to see a side of Bam that we didn't see. Watching Bam on this Olympic team, he stretches the defense more. He's much better around the rim. I feel like he's been stellar defensively. So because he's done that, that's all. Eric Spoelstra, who's on the bench with Team USA, he sees that, right? He sees that, and he knows that I can implement this throughout the season. And I'm actually in favor. That's why I'm straight moving off of buckets. For that reason right there, I'm straight moving off of buckets, because I feel like the way that this team is built, watching Bam in the Olympics and watching him around these great players, history has shown me that guys who play for Team USA, when they get back to their respective teams, we've had plenty of guys have breakout seasons the next year. Jason Tatum is a prime example of that. He was on the Olympic team in 21. He was second on the Olympic team in scoring. He was first team All-NBA the next year. First team All-Pro the very next year. Charles Barkley was on the Olympic team in 93, 92. He won the league MVP and took the Phoenix Suns to the NBA Finals the next year. I mean, there have been plenty of guys who, once they got on the Olympic team, it turned into something else for them. And watching Bam with the little bit of action, right? With the little bit of action that they don't run great action with Team USA. I mean, it's a lot of 5 out. There is some box work, there is some ball movement, but they don't run a lot of action. They don't run the action that Australia runs. I'm on record saying that I think they run the best action in the Olympics, better than Serbia. And Serbia runs some damn good action. Germany runs some good action too. But the misdirection, not just the misdirection, the screen and roll, the pick and dive, the double screens, the cross screen action that the cross screen action that Australia runs. It's I feel like it's second to none. Right? I feel like it's second to none. And I feel like that's gonna make I feel like that's gonna make these guys a lot smarter. I feel like that's gonna make these guys because the level of competition that they see, just from a defensive standpoint, having to play against Serbia, having to play against Serbia, having to play against Germany, having to play against South Sudan twice, those athletes that they have, right? Those athletes that they have on South Sudan made Team USA really tighten up your shoes and get to work. I thought that they were a lot more aggressive. I thought that they were a lot more I thought they were livelier around the basket. I thought that they brought the fight to South Sudan, as opposed to South Sudan making it clear they weren't going to back down in the first game. Now you find yourself in the dogfight. That wasn't going to be the case yesterday. That was not going to be the case yesterday. Anthony Davis was extremely active around the basket. Him playing off James, diving to the basket. I love how, and even though it's become almost second nature, I just love how KD comes into the game. I love how KD comes into the game and makes no misunderstanding about why I'm here. There's no mystery about it. There is no, well, I'm going to do this. No, you know what it is. I'm a bucket getter. I'm a straight bucket getter. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. And until I retire, that's who I'm going to be. I mean, I can't say enough about Bam Adebayo. And the reason why I can't say enough about Bam is because I feel like he's using this time with I feel like Bam is using this time with the Olympic team to enhance his game. So come this season, which I'm saying, I'm on record saying it, I think Bam's going to be an All-Pro. You're going to see a different Bam. I feel like Spo is going to implement different offense. I feel like he's going to run more things for Bam. I feel like he's going to implement Bam and turn Bam loose a little bit more. Not a little bit more. Let me take that back. He's going to turn Bam loose. Take the reins off of him and turn him loose. That's why I'm out on buckets. For that reason right there, I'm out on buckets. So with that, right? With that, I feel like Team USA, I'm not here to criticize. They've been steady. They've won. And that's what this is going to take. Now, remember, we're in 2024. This is not 1995. This is not 1992, where the world hasn't seen this kind of collection of talent, right? The world hasn't seen this collection of talent together ever. No. The world has gotten much better, right? The world has gotten much better. So with the world getting much better, showing up is not good enough anymore. That was evidence against South Sudan. Now that might have been that may have been the case, right? That may have been the case years ago, but in this particular situation, you don't have a Euro with Magic Johnson on the free throw line, walking to the free throw line and shaking Magic's hand. You don't have guys, you don't have guys on the bench with cameras taking pictures. No, that's not what's going on with these teams, right? With these teams. So with that being said, right? With that being said, the level of talent has gotten better. The teams have gotten better. And because the teams have gotten better, because the teams have gotten better, Team USA's approach has to be better. And I feel like throughout these Olympics, I feel like guys like Bam, Anthony Davis, who was also on the Olympic team in 2012. Yeah, he was on the Olympic team in 2012. I feel like guys like that, their approach is different because they don't want to be right. They don't want to be shown up, right? I don't think that they want to be showed up, and because they don't want to be shown up, you're going to see a different level of intensity from them, like I saw yesterday, right? Like I saw yesterday. We're not going to be shown up by South Sudan. I saw Anthony Davis more aggressive around the rim. Bam, just literally that. Bam, getting on the glass in the limited minutes that he played, getting on the glass and doing the necessary stuff in order for them to have a chance to win. And I feel like that stuff's going to carry over to the season because I look at Bam, 26 years old. I feel like I got 3 more years of peak Bam. That's what I'm thinking. I got 3 more years of 20 and 10 Bam. And in those 3 more years, I got to maximize them. That's why I got to get a lead guard in Miami, right? That's why I got to get a lead guard in Miami. And the other pieces, I feel like they flourish with them, with them. And I just like what I'm seeing from Bam. Of all the guys on Team USA, I like what I'm seeing from Bam Adebayo. And anybody knows me knows that anybody who knows me knows that I am a Jason Tatum guy. I love that guy. I love everything about his game. But he seems to be trying to fit in, which that's what you do. You know, when you're on a crew like this, it's like having a bunch of the example that I gave in the past was it's like having a bunch of lead singers. So imagine Luther, Teddy Pendergrass, Johnny Gill, Al Jarreau, Al Green. Just great lead singers. Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown, James Ingram. Just to name a bunch of lead singers. Okay, all of the songs aren't going to be written for you. You're going to have to sing background on this song. You're going to have to sing background on this song. However, you are going to have a part in this song, though. And when it's your time to come to the microphone, right? When it's your time to come to the microphone, you do your thing. And it depends on who is willing to sacrifice, who is willing to go, you know what? I got no problem singing background. But just know that when my part comes up or when they write me a song, I'm going to be ready. I'm 100% am going to be ready. So because of that, right? Because of that, you're going to have guys on this team that there's going to be some cross personalities where you got guys that may be a little bit afraid to step on toes, but you get to know these dudes because you've been hanging around them for the past month, right? I get to know who Bam is. I get to know who Jason Tatum is. I get to know who Anthony Davis is or James, right? I get to know who these people are. And it's dope that I get to know who these people are. Off the strength that I don't get to spend this kind of time with them, right? I don't get to spend this amount of time with these guys. So because I get to spend this kind of time with them, I get to understand their tendencies. I get to understand who they are, and I understand what sacrifice is. And I feel like there's guys on this crew, Drew Holiday and Derek White. I don't feel like they're sacrificing because what you asking them to do on this team, they do it anyway. I already know what it is. I already know what my job is on this team. When Derek White gets on this crew, it's not a mystery on what his job is. He knows it. He already knows what his job is, right? He already knows it. So the transition into being not a role player, but a utility guy, that's not a problem for him. Not a problem for him at all. And the reason why it's not a problem for him is because I'm already doing it anyway, right? I'm already doing that anyway. So the guys who struggle with it, like Joel Embiid, because it's clear that he's been struggling with his newfound role, those are the guys that I don't see this thing translating next season. I wouldn't be surprised if Joel Embiid had a down season next year. I would not be surprised if he did. That would not surprise me at all. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he was just Joel Embiid. No. But there are guys who I feel like next season, I think Bam's going to get busy. I do. I think Bam's going to be something special next season. I do think he's going to be an all-pro. I think Jason Tatum, I think he's going to get busy again next season. I wouldn't be surprised if Derek White got busier than what he already did. I would not be surprised if Derek White got busier than what he already did. Off the strength that playing around Steph Curry, playing around Anthony Edwards, having to deal with Devin Booker every day in practice, that's only going to make me better. So I think that I think a guy like Devin Booker, who's 27 years old, you know, I don't think he's older than 27, but having to see that pretty regularly, right? Having to see that pretty regularly is going to do nothing. Is going to do nothing except enhance my game, and just make me better. So the question is, and it's coming, because I watched Tyrese Halliburton. I watched his minutes diminish as the exhibition, right? As the exhibition season went on, I watched his minutes diminish. Then Jason Tatum gets moved out of the lineup, and then he starts the next night. And then Joel Embiid last night, and I knew it when I saw him on the sideline, right? When I saw Joel Embiid on the sideline with his hands like they were pockets in his sweatpants, I knew he wasn't playing. So the $1 million question is who's next? And the reason why I'm asking that is because, I mean, Chuck Daly, Magic didn't play in 2 of the 8 games that they played. Stockton didn't play in 4 of the 8 games, right? Stockton didn't play in 4 of them, of the 8 games, which I have a difficult time with, because Chuck Daly was able to find minutes for Stockton, even though he played barely 10 minutes, but he was able to find some minutes for him. So who's next on this Olympic team that is going to be out of the lineup? That's been integral. Because I can tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to be James. It's not going to be KD. And it's not going to be Curry. Those are the 3 guys who, no matter what, they're going to be in the lineup. Is it Anthony Edwards? It's not going to be Anthony Davis, because he's necessary. Right? Is it Devin Booker? I feel like Devin Booker, right? I feel like Devin Booker, just like when I said about Devin Booker, I feel like the same logic that I use with if you took Tatum out of the lineup, you don't really miss much. If you took Tatum out of the lineup, you don't really miss much, because you got KD and you got James facilitating and the way that they play defense. And I feel like it's vice versa. If you took KD out of the lineup and made Tatum more of an offensive focus, I think that you're going to get pretty good production. Well, I feel that way about Anthony Edwards, and I feel that way about Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker, off the strength that as good as Devin Booker has been as a stop and pop shooter, as good as he's been in transition as a stop and pop shooter, as good as he's been in the half court coming off of pin downs, as good as he's been on all of those things, right? As good as he's been on all of those things, I feel like you could get something equally as good. Right? I feel like you could get something equally as good with Anthony Edwards when the game speeds up. Him on defense. Anthony Edwards is one of the better on-ball defenders on that team. He's done a great job getting open floor rips, disrupting other teams' offense. And like I said before, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if I saw Anthony Edwards on an all-league defensive team this season coming up. That would not surprise me at all. It wouldn't. And I don't think that you miss much. I don't think that you miss much with him on the floor and Devin Booker off the floor. So a lot of these guys are interchangeable. And with these guys being interchangeable, right? With these guys being interchangeable, it begs the question, who's next? Who is the next guy, right? Who is the next guy to have to sacrifice for the crew? Not just shots, but I'm going with this guy tonight, and I'm going to sit you. And is that something that was understood before the Olympics even started? Did we have the conversation that, there might be a night where you don't play? There might be a night where you only play 10 minutes. But there also might be a night where you play 25 minutes. Was that understood? I wonder if that was understood before the Olympics started. And if it wasn't, why don't we know about it? I think it was understood because I think that playing on a crew like Team USA and going up against South Sudan, Serbia, Australia, Germany, going up against these teams, sure, there's going to be some mismatches. I think that I'm in the minority when I say that when you have a band of players like what's on Team USA, I just have a difficult time with the logic that we can't find minutes for Joel Embiid. I just have a difficult time with that. Even if it's only 10 minutes, I have the matchup logic is where I get lost at. This was a bad matchup. Oh, because I'm a bad matchup for anybody, right? So to tell Jason Tatum against Serbia that they got bigger guards and we need guys to rebound on the front line. Just say, I'm going in a different direction tonight and I need you to sit out. Don't say that they have bigger guards and we need guys to guard on the perimeter. I'm one of the better guard defenders in the league. That you need help rebounding on the front line. I'm arguably the best. I'm arguably the best rebounding small forward in the game. Don't tell me that it's a matchup with South Sudan when you got a 7-1 guy in Joel Embiid who. How can that not be a mismatch for them? When I got a big guy like Joel Embiid, how can that not be a mismatch for them? How can they combat him? Where you can definitely, on some level, I got to be able to find some minutes for him. Considering they don't have anybody on their crew like Joel Embiid. Nobody. They don't have anybody that big. They don't have anybody that ferocious around the basket, that strong. They don't have anybody like that around the rim. Nobody. So him having to be them having to be a mismatch for him. He's more of a mismatch for them. More of a mismatch. So with that being said, just tell me that we're going in a different direction tonight. Just say that. Don't tell me that it's a matchup issue, because I'm a matchup problem for them. I am a huge matchup problem for them. I'm not saying that they're a match. I'm not saying that they're not a matchup problem for me. I'm a bigger matchup problem for any one of those guys over there. Any one of those guys, if I'm used correctly. And I just wonder who's next. I wonder who is next on Team USA that is going to sit. Would I be surprised if Curry sat? I mean, you sat Tyrese Halliburton, one of the better distributors in the league, if not the best distributor in the league, arguably. You sat Jason Tatum. Now you turn around and you sit Joel Embiid. Would I be surprised if you sat Steph Curry? No, I wouldn't be. That would not surprise me at all. And it would be valid, considering if you look at the landscape of the Euro, of the international game, they got a bunch of big guards. Steph is undersized. With them having a bunch of big guards, right? With them having a bunch of big guards and them having the action that they have, you could take advantage of Steph. But Team USA has guys to protect Steph. They got Anthony Edwards on the wing. They got Bam. They got Anthony Davis. They got Drew Holiday. They got guys to protect him. Just like Team USA has guys to protect any one of their guys. So what would the logic be on sitting Steph Curry? What I think it would be the same logic on sitting Jason Tatum, on sitting Joel Embiid. I don't think that there would. I don't think it would be legit logic, right? I don't think that it would be legit logic. I think it would be. I'm going in a different direction tonight. Would Steph Curry? Would he not okay that, but would he understand that? Steph, I'm playing Book. I'm going to play Book. I'm going to play Anthony Edwards. I'm playing Drew, and I'm playing Derek White tonight. I'm going to go in a different direction tonight, and you're not going to play tonight. And I'm going to go with these guys. I just feel like that makes more sense than saying, yo, it's a mismatch. There's a matchup issue. Because I feel like all of these guys on Team USA, I am more of a problem for you than you are for me. That's why I'm one of the better players in the world. I am much more of a problem, right? I am much more of a problem for you than you are for me. Much more. And Green, you tell me White's not playing over Curry. So why is Derek White playing over Jason Tatum then? Can you explain that? If he's not playing over Steph Curry, why is he playing over Jason Tatum? If he's not playing over Steph Curry, why is he playing over Joel Embiid? Can you explain that? Can I get a satisfactory answer on that? Small forward depth? What does that mean, small forward depth, sir? I don't understand what that means, small forward depth. They're deep at the small forward spot? And they're not loaded at the two-guard spot with Anthony Edwards and Booker? They're not loaded? Is that what you're telling me? I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from when you tell me that Derek White's not playing over Steph Curry, but he plays over Jason Tatum, and he's playing over Joel Embiid, and he's playing over Tyrese Halliburton. That's that. I feel like that's interesting. So I often wonder that who is the next guy, right? Who is going to be the next guy that Team USA is going to have to sit down and take the night off? And is that how they're going to look at it? Are they going to look at it like, yo, I'm taking the night off? I'm taking the night off. As opposed to, yo, man, I'm wasting my time coming out here. This doesn't really make much sense for me. Why am I doing this? Are they going to look at it like that? Because I feel like that's the necessary. I feel like that's a necessary question to ask. Whoever has to take because Joel Embiid did not look happy about having to sit out last night. Excuse me. He did not look happy about having to sit out last night. He didn't. And the conversation probably happened previous to them, to the game. The conversation probably happened previous to the game, but he did not look happy about having to sit out last night. I saw him on the sideline and I saw his body language and it looked like, yo, this is nonsense. Why do I have to sit out? Why do I have to sit out? And if I saw it, I'm sure there's other people who saw it too. I'm sure of it. So I'm interested in who's the next to sit for Team USA. That's what I do wonder. Yeah.
What's up, Jill? So, all right. So on your when you said why would Derek White not start over Curry? Well, for one,
Curry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You said Derek White wouldn't play over Curry, but he played over Tatum. Well, Kerr and I don't think Kerr would do that to Steph because that's his guy. Like, you know, he actually coaches.
So it has nothing to do with basketball. So it has nothing to do with basketball.
No, it does. It does. For one, he's not a better shooter. I mean, that's the best shooter on the team. So
he's a better shooter than Jason Tatum then.
Who?
Derek White. Yeah, he's a better shooter than Jason Tatum.
Yeah. He's a better shooter than Jason Tatum.
No, he's not.
You don't think Derek White's a better shooter than Jason Tatum?
Marcus, when you come on here, man, I think that you come on here to try to boost up your to try to boost up what you're trying to do. To be honest with you, I swear you do. I think that I feel like you're trying to practice on me, and it's not working, man. It's not working.
In the Olympics, he's been a better shooter.
It's not working. It's not working, brother. I'm sorry. To sit here and say that he's a better shooter than Jason Tatum. Yeah. Derek White doesn't do much better. I'll give you the defense because what he did last season, I thought he had a better year defensively. But in terms of those two guys defensively, that gap is not that far. Jason Tatum is a much better overall player. You're telling me.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying Derek White's a better player.
But with that being said, you're telling me that
off as a catch.
Let's take the shooting off the table for a second.
Okay.
You're telling me that Derek White as a utility guy is more vital to this team than Jason Tatum is.
No,
that's what you're telling me.
No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Tatum should have been on the bench. I'm not saying Tatum should have been on the bench. I wouldn't have benched him. I mean, you
literally just said that in the comments that he shouldn't play in the next game. Yet I'll scroll it back right now. Hold on. I'll scroll back right now. 100% when I said the next guy to sit on the bench.
The
next guy to sit on the bench. The next guy to sit on the bench. Who is the next guy? You typed, quote, Tatum. I'm looking at it right now.
When?
You 100% said that.
This is today?
Just not too long ago you said that.
Was this today?
Am I speaking Spanish? You just said that. And on top of that, you bring smoke to me. So you want smoke? Bring it. Let's talk about your claim. Dude just said that Kawhi Leonard with averaging 21-7 should have been the league MVP. Okay, first of all, did you hear me say that?
Wait, hold on. I'm talking about Green. What are you talking
about? Let's get off Green. Let's get off Green for a minute because what you do is you'll sit in the comments and you'll say stuff about me to other people. Now I'm here.
Oh my God.
So I'm asking you a simple question. Did you or did you not say in the comments, dude said Kawhi Leonard should have been league MVP 21-7. Did you not say
I'm talking about Green. What are you talking about? I said Green. When I'm saying dude, I mean Green. So I'm not talking about you.
So me or Green?
I'm talking about Green. When I say dude, I'm talking about the dude in the comment. If I was saying you, I would say chill.
So I'm asking you.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Derek White. Let's get back on Derek White. Derek White being the utility guy, just like Drew Holiday, who I think is better, but them being better fits for this team. Is Jason Tatum the way that he fits on his team? Is it just not good, or is he not good?
No. He's definitely good. I think for Curry, it's just like he got LeBron and KD. You know, I just think at this Olympic level that he thinks those two as wings are more valuable than Jason Tatum. So that's why he did sit him. But
so why bring me then? If that's the case, then why bring me here? Yeah, why bring me then? Because if you look at what we have here, right? You got James, you got KD.
Yeah,
it's almost like it's overkill, right? Because you don't need me. Like,
but Jason Tatum can fit into any lineup. I think he can fit into any lineup.
So if that's true, why am I not playing?
You gotta ask Steve Kerr, bro.
Why am I not playing?
You gotta ask Steve Kerr, bro.
There's where the divide is with me. That's what I'm trying to make sense of. Why? Because
I would have Tatum off the bench with Ant, Tatum, and KD. And like, if you don't want to put him in the starting lineup, he can fit into any lineup. It don't matter.
And I also think that what KD does in the starting lineup, he could do that off the bench too.
Yeah,
KD could come in.
KD's they ain't no. KD's KD. He's always KD. KD's just KD. That's
how long do you think KD can do what he's doing? And I don't mean in the Olympics. How much longer do you think he can do what he's doing?
36, 35?
He'll be 36 on opening night.
All right. So, man, with his style of play, 3. With his style of play, 3.
So 39, KD could still be like a
no. But he ain't averaging 26. I'm saying.
Okay.
But he
can still get a bucket though.
Yeah, but so like I think the least he'll average. Well, I think by like 39. I think at 39 he'll average like 24. Like I think he ain't going no lower than that. I'm telling you, because this is a jump shooting league and he's still 7 feet. He ain't gonna lose his ability. Think about this, Chill. He can come back from any injury. He can still look the exact same.
He doesn't have the explosiveness that he had.
No, I'm talking about jump shooting.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. Like, and this is exactly what I mean when I talk about explosiveness. So KD off the bounce, he is 7 feet, but he doesn't have that explosiveness coming around screens, that one dribble pop off the floor.
I'll take it down the hill.
I'm not even talking about getting to the basket, because to your point, this is what? A jump shooting league, correct?
Yeah.
So I mean, I watched Dirk, who I think that's who KD. I mean, I think that's who Dirk should have been in his later years, but Dirk just couldn't move. That was the problem with the difference with KD is still, I feel like, more athletic, and he still has enough bounce where he can still get to his shot. Here's the divide, though, Marcus. The divide is in 3 years he's not going to be 36.
Yeah, I know, but issue. I think. But
you still think he'll be able to get to that spot and still raise up at 39?
Yeah, I believe so. I definitely believe so. But I think that's probably gonna be the last year for him. I don't think he's gonna be like no LeBron or nothing, but
I think
that's gonna be the last year.
To be honest with you,
you don't think he sticks around 3 more years?
I don't think he sticks around 3 more years.
I think KD sticks around for as long as he said he gonna stick around as long as he got love for the game. As long as he got love for the game, he'll stick around.
Shit, if that's the case, he'll play till he's 50, because KD is the dude that KD won't never stop. KD is the dude that you might drive around whatever city and you might find KD in a park
everywhere.
Running.
That's find him everywhere.
That's KD on a Tuesday evening at 7:00. So I don't think that love is ever going to be gone. KD is not going to play just like all time greats. when I can't do what I used to be able to do. That's when he lets it go. And I don't see KD 3 years from now.
He
Same
can
thing with
average
Curry.
24. He can put up 24 a game at age
38
39. He
years
can do
old.
it.
God, I mean,
Yeah,
see,
24.
what
It's just
this is
24.
what James did. He threw a monkey wrench in the game, yo. He did. Because what we do is we see what James is doing, and now we under the impression that like 38, 39, all these dudes can do that.
No. I'm not saying that. Look, LeBron. If KD had the same like style of LeBron, I would say hell no, you can't do that. But it's not. It's different. Shooting is always going to be there for KD. He's always going to be seven. He's always going to be able to. Mostly, he's always going to be able to rise up and shoot over somebody.
Is he
That will
though?
always be there.
That part right there, Marcus. Is he
Yes.
though? Because
Yes.
as I age, I mean, I don't know if you remember
As you age, your bones get more brittler. Yeah.
I ain't even talking about. I'm not even talking about breaking down. I'm talking about being able to get the spots. I'm talking about being able to get the spots. I'm talking about just getting past guys. Because I don't know if you remember, but Dirk Nowitzki looked like he had a piano on his back them last couple of years.
He's not KD. He's not KD.
And this is a guy who at the four. This is a guy who at the 4 spot got up and down the floor with the best of them. Stop and pop. One of the best transition fours that I've ever seen.
And KD's like the most mobile 7-footer that I've ever seen. Well,
right.
Yeah, he's the most mobile 7-footer that I ever seen. I don't.
But does that?
Like,
but does that mean? But does that mean to answer to ask you the question, because like you just talked about with mobility? With mobility comes time, and time decreases mobility. So I'm not. KD's game has never been predicated on flight and athleticism. That's never been his game. Like he ain't Giannis, right? He ain't Dominique Wilkins, right? He wasn't none of those guys where his game is predicated on skill, getting to specific spots. Now, when that athleticism and that mobility starts to diminish, what do I have left?
His jump shot. That's what he has.
Right.
He has, and this too. If you think he can't get to a spot, he can post up and shoot over somebody. He still can post up, right?
At that level, though,
I think he can. You can put him in a spot. You can have him coming off a curl so he can go right to his mid range if you want to. He can go anywhere. And I think at that age, yes, we're going to see the exact. We're not going to see the exact same thing, of course. You know, he will start to wane down. But
Marcus, I think that you in particular, I feel like you're a little bit naive about.
I'm
KD.
not naive. I bet.
And here's why.
3 years from now, I'm not going to be naive.
And here's why I'm saying this. I feel like you're a little bit naive in the aspect that 3 years from now, KD will be in year 21. It's a lot of miles, my man. And KD has had some significant injuries. Is he going to hold up? And even if he does hold up, how is that going to affect his body? That's my question. I can appreciate your logic about him getting on the block. I'm 7 foot. But when you're going up against younger guys, the game is faster. I'm 36, 37, 38. I'm not what I used to be athletically. Even though my game isn't predicated on flight and athleticism, I do need some of that. And as I get older, a lot of that dwindles and it goes away. And because it goes away, I'm not as effective as I used to be. So when I hear you tell me at 38, 39 years old, he's still 24, 25 a game.
Woo. 24. That's where I'm maxing out at. All right. That's where I'm maxing out.
All right. Okay.
That's where I'm maxing out.
Good to talk to you, brother. Damn. I don't. I'm not saying that I hate it. I'm just not one of these people who. I recognize that these guys. I'm a former ball player, and I know what it's like to get older and not be able to do what you used to be able to do, and how it affects your confidence as a ball player. Especially when you got a guy in front of you that you know for a fact 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago, I would have ate your lunch. I would have destroyed you. But I could get to my spot. I just can't get to it as fast as I used to be able to. I'm not as athletic as I used to be. Right? So when I think about, you know, the narrative on guys like KD and Like I hear people telling me Steph Curry can play at this level for another 3-4 years. I'm thinking he's not going to be 36 years old in 4 years. He's going to be older. And because he's older, Father Time is going to get on him even more. Even more, he's going to get on him. Like Green just said to me, Jordan averaged 20 at 40. Jordan averaged 20 at 40. This is the same Jordan who averaged 37 a game, 35 a game, 33 a game, who averaged 30 a game for his career. That's that Jordan. So Father Time caught up with him, and he did not look like the same Jay because Jay's game was predicated on flight and athleticism. Now, as he got older, and he wasn't Air Jordan no more, he had to put other things in his game. And then as he got older, those things still weren't as effective as they were years ago. They weren't effective as they were years ago. So I think I think it's incredible to think that these guys are going to be similar to what they were years later. I don't see it. What up?
You know what? We kept saying the same thing about LeBron James, but somehow, some way, he managed to still be jumping out the gym, still doing a lot of shit. Now, I know why he's doing it, and I'm going to get into that in a second, but I really want to get into the fact of how the Olympic game is absolutely shitting on the NBA game right now. Absolutely, 100%. And I'm glad you're shaking your head. Yeah, you're shaking your head because you know I'm telling the truth. They absolutely, and I repeat, they absolutely shitting on the NBA game right now. And it goes to show you, bro, and what I've been talking to you, and the last time what I was trying to tell you about, when we saw the 92 and the 96 teams, the Olympic teams, the Dream Team and the 96 team, that was our style of basketball. That was the American NBA style of basketball. The shit that you seeing right now, they just running up and down the court. That's all they doing. It's one of the reasons why LeBron James is still hanging around, because they playing open court basketball. And and two things I'm seeing with this team. You mentioned the lineups. First off, that lineup yesterday was absolutely stupid. I never want to see that shit again. Putting Tatum, LeBron, AD at the four, at the five, Steph and Devin Booker. I never want to see that shit again. And what you were saying earlier, Bam Adebayo played his ass off. Derek White played his ass off. Drew Holiday played his ass off. A lot of those players on that bench, they saved that game because LeBron James is old and so is Steph Curry. I told you about these 2010s dudes. They are wasting your time. They're sitting there. They're in the way. You got to move them out the way so these other young players and these other up-and-coming players can flourish. This Olympic game is proven what I've known all along. There's not a damn thing wrong with Kevin Durant's game, and it never has been. Because the thing is, Kevin Durant perfected his game. He perfected a craft. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, bro, is really just a specialist all along. That's what it's been proven. This Olympic game is exposing the hell out of Steph. It damn sure exposing the hell out of LeBron because he's older. And exposing the hell out of Steph because he's older. The thing about Kevin Durant that we have to realize, bro, like, he's showing you every single day in this Olympic tournament what a complete basketball player looks like.
But he's not a complete basketball player. He's a specialist also. He's a bucket getter.
Bullshit.
That's what he is.
Bullshit. He's a complete basketball player.
What is a complete basketball player in your estimation, Leaf?
A complete basketball player is somebody that has little to no holes in their game.
Right.
And what I mean by that is somebody that could still put the ball on the floor. Your three-level prowess offensively is still there. You still have the ability to rebound at a good level. You still have ability to affect shots at a high level, bro. Like, because that's what Kevin Durant is still to this day, even at his age. Steph Curry, bro, like, listen, if he's not hitting threes, how effective is he really? If LeBron James is not running the floor and getting easy layups and dunks, how effective is he when you put him in a box and he got 3 offensive fouls for running people over? How effective is he really?
Well, I don't know if that's true, and the reason why I don't know.
Of course, you don't know if that's true. I do.
The reason why that's not true is because, one, Steph Curry is playing with another primary ball handler. He's playing off the ball. He's playing limited minutes. I think Steph Curry's game is tailor-made for the Euro game. The reason why you don't see him doing what he's doing doing what he does best. It's not because he's old. It's because he doesn't play that much. A lot of these guys, I mean, I'm only doing this in 15 minutes, 16 minutes. KD is a bucket getter. That's what KD has always been. He comes in the game and he gets buckets. Steph Curry is playing in a system. With Steph Curry playing in a system, he's also a bucket getter, but he does other things. And in the process of him doing other things, he's playing with a dude who does the same thing that he does. So I have the ball, I don't have the ball. KD is a bucket getter. I'm a specialist. So my game doesn't change much on this crew. Just like Derek White's game doesn't change much on this crew. Just like Drew Holiday's game doesn't change much on this crew. Steph Curry, I got to sacrifice because I'm on a crew with James. I'm on a crew with Kevin Durant. I'm on a crew with Jason Tatum. I'm on a crew with Devin Booker, other bucket getters. So I'm not going to be the primary bucket getter for that. And not only am I not going to be the primary bucket getter, I'm going to be out of rhythm because my game is a rhythm game as a scorer. They go right to KD right from the door, whether he's starting or he's coming off the bench. They go right to him, which is fine, and I won't argue that. I will not argue that. But the idea that James, who is a lot smarter than everybody else, which would explain why he's doing what he's doing still at the age that he's at, is a testament to what kind of player he is. James is an anomaly when you're talking about a 39-year-old. There aren't any guys his age that were able to do what he did. Malone made the All-League team at 39, but he did not look like James. Tim Duncan made the All-League team at 39, but he did not look like James. No, he didn't. And these guys didn't. These guys are anomalies. And the reason why they're anomalies is because this shit doesn't happen a lot. It doesn't happen almost never. Now, I do agree with you. I do agree with you with the idea that it's time to wrap this up. It's okay.
Yeah. It is.
You guys have been fantastic, and I love you. And
but you overstayed your goddamn welcome.
This ain't like Jay. This ain't like Jay when Jay quit in 2003 when it was clearly over. Even though I wanted him to stay, but I knew it was time to go and it was time to move on. I feel like I feel like we're coming up on that time with these guys. But I can't discount how good these guys still are, though. I can't do that. But I do think that we're coming up on that time, though. I do think
you know what? I think we've come past that time. And the thing is that the numbers and the stuff that they still can do is still is somewhat prolonging it, and it's somewhat got people confused. It don't have me confused, man, because I already know LeBron is way past his time. I already know that Steph is way past this time. The reason being is because they're not moving out of the way for nobody else to pay it forward for the younger players. It's still about them, still at this age.
Yo, why do I have to quit though, Lee? Why do I have to quit if I still got it though? That's the question that I'm asking you. Like because when Doc left, Doc clearly didn't have it. When Jay left, Jay didn't have it anymore. When Bryant left, he didn't have it anymore. So I still got it. It's not like I'm over. It's not like KD isn't still playing at a high level. He's still playing at an all-pro level. Steph Curry made the all-pro team. James made the all-pro team. So these dudes still playing at this level. Why I got to quit? I ain't saying that we ain't coming up on that time because we are. I want to make sure we clear on that. We are coming up on that time, but it's just not right now.
It is right now. And
why is it right now, Leaf? Why is it right now?
It's right. It's been right now because your individual prowess is not affecting high level winning like it was before. It's not doing that anymore, bro. It's at the age of 36. Remind me, LeBron, like Jordan was still getting the Chicago Bulls into the finals. Remind you at age 36.
He was retired at 36. He retired.
Remind you at age 36, Kareem was still playing at a championship level on the Los Angeles Lakers. Remind you at age 36, if I'm not mistaken, Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz was still on their way to the finals. You get on like
that was already over. Those
but I understand that. The point I'm trying to make is this: you're like these kids, these young players, they ain't fazed by you no more. You got Anthony Edwards looking at your face saying, "Yo, you're not winning a game against me." You got the Denver Nuggets saying, "Bro, even at our worst, LeBron, you still can't do nothing with me." You got Steph Curry, bro, who barely even touched the playoffs. Everybody is old. Steve Kerr is still trying to run the same shit that he been running since 2015 and ain't changed nothing up. I'm sick of it. Get them out. They done. Finished. I don't care if you can still shoot from 40 feet no more. Guess what? Your father still can too, and he ain't played a game in years. Guess what? You can still jump out the gym. So can Vince Carter. He ain't played a game in almost 3 years. 3, 4, 5 years. I'm proud that you could do that. I'm proud that at the age of 40, you can still jump out the gym and still throw down dunks and still score and still do all of these things. But the thing is, it was always about paying the game forward. That's what it's always been about.
And that's
You
what
didn't
they
have to
doing,
be
Lee.
all the way. You didn't have to all the way be all the way finished to retire. You didn't have to be all the way done.
Yes, you did though. Yes, Leaf, you did. That's not true, man. That's why you quit. For that reason right there. Because I can't do it anymore. And these guys clearly still can. Now, again, we're coming up on that time where it's time I think James is gone in 2 years. I do. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season he quit. I wouldn't be surprised at that. But 2 years tops, I think he's gone. I don't think Curry stays around. I don't think Curry, like I hear people telling me Curry got 4 or 5 more. No, Curry ain't gonna be around in 5 years. No, he is not.
Not at this level, but
he's not gonna be around 5 years from now. Curry's gonna be 42 years old. He's gonna be going on 42. He's not playing that long. He's not.
Here's the thing. The thing about when you're a specialist in a jump shooting league, the thing is, like, your timeline is really your timeline is your timeline. It's not really based on, like, it's based on if you still a head honcho in the league guy, which he's not going to be for that much longer.
I know it's not based on if you're going to be the league guy. Because if that's the case, then why doesn't Clay retire? Why doesn't Clay quit?
Because
Clay doesn't have what he used to have.
Yeah, I understand that, but he could still fit a role. He could still play 15 minutes.
And so can Steph Curry, and that lead role is what he's still good at. We're talking about Steph Curry, who, don't forget, Leaf, this Golden State Warriors team, they won 46 games last year. 46.
Right.
It wasn't like they were garbage.
No.
They won 46 games last year. And Steph Curry was one of the main reasons why. Now, don't get me wrong.
They won 46 games. Yeah.
Their championship window is closed. I won't
absolutely.
Argue
that shit is shut.
I will not argue that. Their championship window is closed. But don't sit there and tell me that he's over. That he should just step aside because what I used to be able to do 5 years ago, I can't do it, and I'm holding back a young guy. What young guy is he holding back? Leave.
Here's the thing. It's not. It's in terms of the league. I'm not talking about a young guy on their team. The thing is like the main thing that we keep saying is that we need to endorse a lot of these other players on different teams. We talk about Ant-Man. We talk about JT, obviously, who played for Boston. I ain't gonna mention it. We talk about Trae Young. I'm just mentioning names right now. I'm not mentioning the right names. I'm just mentioning names. The point I'm trying to make is that when we start to shine a light on, everybody keep asking us, who's gonna be the face of the league once LeBron leaves.
Once these dudes leave, like who's gonna be the guy?
My thing is that I think we're gonna go through the same period that we went through after '98, where we kind of really not where we're not looking for a lead face, but we're looking for a group of guys that can fill that void, a group of guys that are holding down a high level of prowess on the basketball court.
My cousin was the face of the league for 3 years. Let's knock it off, Leaf. My cousin was the face of the league.
My
cousin was the face of the league. Yes, he was.
I mean, if you want to say that, that's fine. But
I'm not just saying it because it's my cousin. My cousin was the face of the league. He was the NBA.
If you want to say that, that's fine. But so was Kobe Bryant. So was Tim Duncan. So was but it was in a window to where when LeBron got in 2003, you knew what direction and what face that they were going with all that time. Because here's a guy that was 18 years old, handled the media very well.
Yep.
He was a very, very cordial.
Yep.
On the court, you saw what the athletic prowess that he be. And all of these things, no nonsense off the court. Yep. And that was pretty much the same with Tim Duncan. But the thing was, the Spurs were deemed "quote unquote" boring.
Right.
It was the same thing with Kobe Bryant, but the Denver happened, And it was the same thing with your cousin, but the game was they started adding zone defenses and started moving away from his style of play and things like that. And then you saw
We
him
had
him.
we just had a new crop, Leaf. We had a new crop of players after Jay left, right?
Yeah.
After Bird left, after Barkley was, we had a new crop of players, and I feel like that's going to happen with these guys. I think that's going to happen, and it's coming sooner than you think, Leaf. I know you want it to be today. I know you want James at the end of these Olympics to go, yo, I am retired. I know you want KD to say, yo, I'm retiring from the NBA. I know you want Steph Curry to go, yo, I'm out. I know you want that
what?
today.
And I'm gonna finish by saying, in terms of LeBron James and Steph Curry, and a lot of the stuff that I've seen from them defensively, not just defensively in that game, but yesterday against South Sudan, I don't need them to retire is after this Olympics over. I need them to retire today, because the thing is, this league is getting younger and younger. You at more high risk to get older and get more exposed than because they're gonna start figuring out these are kids that have been watching you for years, just like me and you. We've been watching these dudes for years, just like me and you. They going into the league and they figuring out like, damn, I could take this dude, man. He 39, he 38, he 36, however how old he is. I'm good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be around for the next 10, 15 years. Him, he'd be lucky if he be around for the next 10, 15 months.
So push me out then. If it's like that, then push me out then. It's really that simple. Leaf, I gotta bounce, brother. Good to talk to you, my man.
Of course.
Yep. If that's the case, and I've always said, and I stand on the logic. You want my job? Come take it. I live by that creed. This where the belt is. You want it? Come get it. You want my job? Take it. Now, I agree in the aspect that a lot of these guys that you see in the game today, we're coming up on that time where we're gonna have a new crop of guys who are the face of the league, and that's what the NBA is gonna be about. I think we're coming up on that time, but those dudes I don't think they're over yet. So since we're on the subject of over, it's about that time for me. It was great to see you guys tonight. Y'all know what it is when you see me. I'm not hard to find. If I'm not here, I'm on TikTok, 9 a.m., Monday to Friday. If I'm not there, I'm right here on Chilltown Hoops on Monday nights. Tuesday nights, I'm here with my man Tony Tone. He's on vacation. You know where to find me at if I'm not here. Me and my man Big Ox on Players Choice Network. We do this on Saturday afternoon at 12 p.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Pacific. So I'm not hard to find. I did see Trout's injury, and Trout's made of glass. That's all I can say about Trout. He's made of glass. There's nothing really that I can say about that except he's made of glass. So I will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Call your mother, man. When last time you talked to your mother? Hey, man, call your mother. I will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely.